The fourth summit of the Crimea platform took place today. This time, the participants of the platform will focus on discussing 5 key topics. In particular, it will be about the territorial integrity of our country, the reintegration of temporarily occupied territories, return of civilian hostages held by Russia, as well as Ukraine's success in the Black Sea. In addition, this time the organizers of the event decided to fight the myths surrounding Crimea. One of the key of them, which unfortunately is still stuck in the mind of some experts, is that Crimea historically belonged to Russia. This is not so. Therefore, one of the parts of this year's summit will be devoted to this topic. After all, until the end of the 18th century, the Crimean Khanate was a separate state. But in 1783, Catherine II decided to annex the peninsula and neighboring territories to the Russian Empire, after which repressions against the local population and settlement of the peninsula by Russians began in this territory. Russian rulers have been using this technology not for years, but, as you can see, for centuries.
Сьогодні ми відкриваємо український національний меморіал.
Today, we are unveiling Ukraine's national memorial commemorating the tragedy of the Crimean Tatar people. And one day, a similar memorial will undoubtedly appear in our free Crimea. This is a symbol of unbreakable will. It reminds us of the 3 tragic stages in the history of the Crimean Tatar people: the annexation of Crimea by the Russian Empire in 1783, the deportation in 1944, and the occupation in 2014. But at the same time, it gives us hope for the future. We are confident that Crimea will be free. This is our common task, and the whole world stands with Ukraine in this struggle today.
It was a part of President's speech at the opening of the memorial to the victims of the Crimean Tatar genocide. This memorial was unveiled during the 4th summit of the International Crimea Platform. The platform, initiated by President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky, continues to be an important international advisory and coordination tool aimed at deoccupying the peninsula. The platform's activities are aimed at improving the effectiveness of the international response to the occupation of peninsula, increasing international pressure on the Kremlin, preventing further human rights violations, and protecting the victims of the occupation regime. It is important to remember that it was the occupation of Crimea that started the Russian invasion of Ukraine 10 years ago, and only with the deoccupation and reintegration of Crimea, the war can be over. And this platform made a result. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan stated that Crimea should be returned to Ukraine in accordance with international law. He made this remark in a video address to the Crimea platform. Erdogan highlighted that Turkey has opposed the annexation of Crimea from the start, which has further exacerbated the suffering of the Crimean Tatars, who experienced deportation 80 years ago.